Hi, Julie Torrance here. So we are going to be working on two different 12 by 12s and they're one-sided. So let's get started on this one and I'll tell you what we're going to do. Pull up my sleeves. So I want to make some tags, the kind of tags that say to from. Yes, I'm getting ready for the holidays. So I'm starting out, this is vermilion. So I want to start out with a red, and these are just paints from my bargain bag. So where did I get these? How I know I got these off of Amazon more than 5 years ago. This one is called Crimson Red. And so this particular one that I'm working on right now, this one, I want to do in reds. Now I also have some gold, and I'm going to put some gold on here because I kind of want to mix it in with the paint. And then I got a new one. Oh, doggone it. I didn't remember to take the plastic off. I got this one at the craft warehouse and they were $2 each. This one is called Gold, but it is their iridescent top coat. So let's see what that does. And let's see if I can get this off in a quick, slick way. Oh yeah. I say, oh yeah. It's not off yet. There we go. All right, now we'll see, does it have one of those covers? No. All right, so I think this is kind of, it's like this way it looks gold, this way you don't see it, kind of a thing. So it's white, and I'm sure it's very transparent. So I just want to get color on here and some shimmer. I'm using a paper plate. I've got cosmetic sponges. Pulled this one out. Got these from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to be putting paint on thin. Even if I miss a few little spots and white is showing, I don't care. So I'm starting out with this red. This one is the crimson. And I'm just going to start swirling it on. I want it to dry fast. And we're going to get textury. I don't care. Almost like an orangey red. Go back into the crimson. And yeah, if it's textury, fine. If it's, as I say, kind of haphazard and not even getting every place covered, fine. Now, where I see that the paint has kind of layered up, I'm going to, okay, here's the gold. Iridescent gold. I am going to knock down any thick areas where I can see that the paint kind of piled up a little bit. All right, I'm going to go into the regular gold. And I knew this is thin on its own. Remember the edges, Julie. All right, I can see some thick paint here, there. All right, I think I'm gonna go back in the crimson because it feels like I have a lot of the orangey one. Now, this is a masterboard. So masterboards are always fun. It's one of the most fun things I like to do. I would say masterboards and collage, which a masterboard kind of feels like collage to me. Do you know what I mean? It kind of feels like paint collage. Don't you think? Okay. I'm going to finish off what I put out here in the gold. I'm going back into the crimson. And I just have some plastic that was clothing came in. And I just love it for underneath. I don't know why I love it. I mean, I don't know what quality is there, but there's some kind of a quality there that it just works really well for this. A little more of the crimson. And I'm going into both those supposed iridescent kind of colors. Now, where I don't see any glimmer at all, I think I'm just gonna go in with this iridescent shape shifting, whatever this is, and just give it a few dots here and there, here and there. Come on. There we go. You know, if I'm not careful, I'll end up with a big blob. And we can wipe that off with this sponge. So how are you? Are the holidays creeping up fast? Ah, don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Enjoy. Enjoy. Whatever you had in mind that you didn't get done, wasn't meant to be. No problem. Just go with the flow. Don't let it stress you. And believe me, I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you. Because I have a job, and I know many of you do too, that I've got to tend to, and I've got family that has their own agendas that I want to be a part of. All right, this is looking good. I don't see any white spots, and I think it's fine. I'm going to just turn it and let you kind of see. Can you see the shimmer and shine? I hope so. Let's let it dry. And I'm bringing up the other one. Don't you think these will be nice for the back where you write to from? You're going to use a big old black Sharpie. I know you are. All right, I'm going to get as much paint off of this as I can. And I'm going to dip it in some water, because if it doesn't turn completely hard, that wouldn't hurt my feelings, because I kind of like, it's the first time I've ever used a sponge like this. Got them from the Dollar Tree. But what it's doing for me today, I really like. So I'm just trying to get some paint off of it, and we'll see what happens. I mean, if it still turns hard or I don't get what I want from it, I'll just cut that part off. But we'll see. All right, I'm going to save the red, but I'm going to bring another one out for the green. Okay, so I've got two different greens. I've got this one, which is called emerald green. So let's put some of this on. And we get a little bloop. There we go. Yeah, that's tube noises. Yep. And that might be too much paint, but I don't care. This one's just called green. It's kind of an appley green to me, but they just call it green. And again, this I know I got this one from Tuesday Morning. It says it's American Crafts, and it's Heidi Swap. Oh well, thanks Heidi. And this one is Martha Stewart. Years ago, I bought it as a set. There was 2 golds, 1 silver, and then a handful of pearls. And I've just been using it up. I love it. And now this is that new Deco Art Americana Enchanted. And this one's called Gold. And I definitely saw the gold, did you? Okay. This is the red one. Got this one for the greens. Let's get started. Just doing the same thing I did. Start with this appley green, or as they call it, green. It's a heavy paint, thick, or I don't know, it doesn't move a lot. I'm going into the emerald. Just kind of started in the middle this time. Don't know why. Just did. Now I'm going to go into the iridescent. See what it does with the green. And I'm going to go into the gold. This paint is slippery. Yep. And it's really moving that green around, or it's taking it off of my sponge, one of the two, and I like it. Can you see how these are acting so much differently than the other ones? Isn't that something? That's why, I mean, I've even had the same brand, different tubes do that. So this is the emerald. Using one of my infamous paper plate palettes. Back into the gold. Good. All right, I think I'll go into the one called green. I wonder how many meetings did they have to decide the color name, or maybe the color name came first, and this is what Heidi calls green. I don't know. Like I said, I guess it kind of a spring green. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I like it. All right, I'm going into the iridescent. I do want them shimmery, you know, kind of sparkly under the tree. Okay. And I'm going to go into the iridescent and go right over this. The acrylic paint moves the acrylic paint. I like the way that did. Okay. So, emerald, sure. Ooh. Ooh. Where you going? Huh? All right, I'm just cleaning up the rest of the gold that I had on the plate. And there we have it. Okay, so I used the iridescent for, you know, when I dribble. Well, so this time I'm going to use the gold. You know, change it up a bit. It'll be fun when we get these cut up. I don't know that we'll be able to do it today, but soon. Now I'm just gonna move this gold here, there, here, there. I like this. If I don't feel like I get the gold everywhere, I'm gonna put some iridescent on, but I like this. Yeah, that's as far as that's gonna go. Oh, I got some over here. Oh, look, picked up the green, the color green. Okay, iridescent. I'm putting it the places I don't think I really got much or any gold, maybe. Glitz and glamour. Right, girls? Glitz and glamour. That's what we're going for. And guys, there we go. I really don't mind that. Okay. Good start. Very good start. I love it. All right, I'm going to do the same. I'm going in here. Let's move this out of the way. Try not to plop it into one of the paper plates and see if I can get some of this. Because like I said, I like these. If they, you never know with the Dollar Tree, but if they have them again, I would get them again. I realize instead of getting a whole pack of those little triangles, you get one. And maybe that's why I'm feeling more compelled to clean it off. But I love the texture. I really do. I think if you would want to get a real smooth, no brush stroke kind of a look, I think this could really help you. All right. Next step. Bring back the red one. I'm reaching, folks. Okay, got the red one. And it's cold, but it's obviously dry enough for the touch, which is what I wanted. I want to do two things. I wanted to use some stencils or masks on it. And I want to put some words in. I think I'm going to go with the stenciling first. So I've got my Punchinella, which I love the way that looks. I've got my 2 different sizes. There's a 3rd size, but I just got 2 of them. And these are another one of my favorites, but I think they kind of look like snowflakes. It's called Hexagon Dreams at PM Artist Studios. So I've used those masks so much. All right, now bring back the red. Now, I'm not going to use more red, I don't think, but if I happen to dunk into it a little bit, it's fine because I'm on the red plate. All right, tipping things over. Liquitex Professional Gesso. The Liquitex Professional Gesso, it is still somewhat transparent, but it really has kind of a silky satiny finish. It still does what gesso's supposed to do, which is create a grip so that things will grip better, but I use it for all kinds of stuff. All right, put the sleeves back up. I'm going to start out with the Hexagon Dreams, and I've got for the white, and I'm just going to get some gesso on here and get some Hexagon Dreams going. And I think I'm going to start right off the edge of the page. And as much as I said I don't care if I don't get every spot, all the more with this part. This is more liquidy. You can see in here, maybe you can't, I hope you can, see in here there's like some kind of smudgy, blurry, I don't care. But you do get more of that with gesso than you do with acrylic paint. And it's not the mask, it's the paint is very liquidy. And even though I'm trying to just pounce up, down, up, down. Yep, fine. Just fine. So we're supposed to have snow. It was supposed to start snowing like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's about noon now. And this is the Sunday. We're still in the Thanksgiving weekend. And it did not come for us. And as I was watching radar here and there during the night last night, I work nights, so why wasn't I sleeping last night? You tell me. Because I slept some during the day because I was up all night the night before. I mean, it's a vicious circle, but I like my job, so I'm not complaining at all. Okay. Now, I'm not worried about having so many on here because, again, I'm going to be cutting it. So even at this, everyone is not going to necessarily get some Hexagon Dreams. But I'm thinking this is looking pretty festive. It is to me. I hope it is to you. Yeah, just kind of got the middle that time. One more up here. I didn't even use the other one. I'm using the smaller of the 2. The one that I don't have is even smaller. But I thought with the Punchinella. Yeah, this comes a set of 3. You know, if you're looking at PM Artist Studios and you think, you know, that's a little expensive, read what it is, because you can be getting 2 or 3 stencils in there, in that pack. So don't get worked up about the fact that they're more expensive. I would say they are more expensive, but I have paid more. I have paid more, and I've got stencils that I may use one more time, but if they act the way I remember, I'm going to throw them away. Because if my work irritates me, then no thank you. No thank you. And their stencils are hardy. They're not so thick that it's unreasonable or ridiculous, but they're certainly hardier than some that I've gotten from names that, you know, you would say, really? Yeah, really. Paid $11 for a 8.5 by 11 stencil, and it is junk. I could never do what I'm doing here. I can maybe use, I was going to say spray inks, but no, it won't. It doesn't act as a dam. The spray inks go on top, go under. So yeah, these from, well, I'm just using a piece of Punchinella now, but the one that I'm talking about, okay. Hey, it's looking good. I'm putting more on than I thought I was going to, but I'm just liking it so much. Any large areas that I'm finding, even if I'm just putting in a light dose of this, I still like it. I'm going to put a little more, you know, right in here. I think I'm going to grab a stencil and give it a little bit of that. Okie doke. Yep. Good. Not done, but good. All right. Now the green. And, you know, I don't think any red came up, so I'm not going to waste that bit of gesso that's on that green plate. I'm going to go ahead and use it. And like before, I want to start off a little bit. Me off constantly. Off the beam. There we go. Looking good. So I would say we've had a whopping 10 snowflakes. And like I said, we're 12 hours into the warning. You know, we've got an advisory up, and that advisory started at, I think, midnight Sunday morning. And yeah, right now it's just a flurry. And I kind of have to squint to see that. Okay. What are you thinking? I love making masterboards. I hope you do. I know that when I put masterboard in any of my descriptions or as the title of the video, right there, it's going to get more views. So that just tells me that people do like masterboards. And I got to tell you, when I see masterboards on my recommendations or whatever, you know, where YouTube is telling me to go with, yeah, I take a look. Sure do. Okay, well, I think I've just about used up the gesso that is on my paper plate. So I'm just going to add a little more, and let's go with the Punchinella. Where did I put the gesso? On the floor, of course. All right. It's acrylic. Give it a shake. If you ever just get a clear instead of a color coming out, unless, well, even if you're using matte medium, it should never come out clear. It's got a white hue or a white, I don't know, like a milky, foggy look. If you're just getting clear, you're just getting binder. And you don't want to throw off the binder ratio with pigment. So give it a shake. That's all it needs. And it's not the sign of a bad paint. It's just a sign of probably a paint that's been still for a little while. I've even had some tubes get a little that way. And I just kind of massaged the tube a little bit. I had a mask stuck to my arm, so you know what that means. Got gesso on my arm. So normal. People at the grocery store think, girl, did you ever wash your hands? How about your arms? I do. I'm an artist. They don't care. Nope. Get in the corners. So what are you have plans for the upcoming holiday? Or maybe you're not even in the US, which many of you are not. So Thanksgiving is just like a non-entity. Even my Canadian friends, their Thanksgiving was, I think, in October. I think that the Canadian Thanksgiving hits about the time that we're having what used to be called Columbus Day. So now my sponge is drying up, but that's okay. I mean, I'm still getting some on here, and that's enough. It doesn't need to be all the same level. Good. Good. I'm going to put just a little right down this edge. And I think we've got that one done. Yes. Okay, more punchinella on this one than the other one, but that's fine. Okay. Now, next step. I'm going to wet this white. So I worked over the Thanksgiving weekend, but that's because, and the people that, well, I work for a company, but the people that I'm assigned to, which I've been with this client for over 2 years, they say, oh, you can stay home, and no, because I do plan to stay home when Christmas rolls around. So how am I doing with this? I think it's good. Gesso isn't as tenacious as the acrylics. Well, I guess I can leave that here. I don't know why I'm looking for a place to drop it. Okay. And we're done with painting. But wasn't that fun? All right, bringing back the red one. Here we go. Now, how dry are we? That's from work. All right. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, I want to put words on it. One thing about masterboards, as busy as they look when you've got them just whole and flat like this, they're not that busy when you cut them out. I don't know what happens, but I've got this one, and I call this stamp Happy Words. It was a gift from Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, in Happy Mail. I'll just read a little bit. You are my sun and moon and all my stars. You're the best part of my story. That kind of thing. So maybe more Valentine's, but I think for Christmas it'll be fine. And I don't plan to have it that people can just easily read the whole thing. I'm sticking it on, and as you can see, even this, see here, is too small. But it's big enough. And I'm going to get my archival ink, and I'm using sepia. I think black would be awfully harsh, but I think a color would be a little bit too blending in. So I'm gonna take this and start putting words on. And I don't know why, but this kind of feels like it's the top. So let's see what we get here. And I don't plan to cover the whole thing in this. It's subtle, but it's cool. I'll make it closer to you in just a sec. Okay. Because it wouldn't surprise me if you say, I can't see a thing. I believe you. Whoops. What do you think? Can you see it? I hope so. All right. Let's get some more on. And I like the sepia very much. So I'm just going to kind of layer this. And I'm checking for acrylic paint. If acrylic paint sticks to my to my words, I will get it off because these words are obviously very small and fine. And if they get acrylic paint in them, they will definitely, you wouldn't be able to read anything. All right, a little bit more here. Okay, I'm going to stop. I could go on and on, but I'm going to stop. And I think I'll just stamp it off on this paper towel. It's fine. All right, save that for a little bit. Now this is my cursive writing, and let's get the other Uhu. It has no ability to stick to anything, but I have used the glue stick, other brands as well as the Uhu, on the backs of these stamps to hook them to whatever acrylic block I'm using, and it works great. I just stick it on with that, and then water takes it off both the stamp and off of the acrylic. Really easy. All right, now I'm going to keep it in the same orientation. And I don't know how much of this you can see, but let me get a couple on here and then I'll show you. Can you see the cursive writing? It's supposed to be French talking about botanicals. I know I've said that before, but I have a lot of first-time visitors. I have a lot of new subscribers, and thank you. It's very exciting. Only about a third of the people who watch are also subscribed. So if that's one of you, please consider when you're doing the like to hit the subscribe. I am up to just over 800 subscribers, which is really exciting. And I am planning a giveaway for my 1,000. And the giveaway is going to be a handmade journal. Yep, not a little one, not a little pretend. Oh no, a real McCoy. Okay, I need to put some right here, but I turned it around so that I could reach it. Okay. I think I've got a little, some kind of a stamp going on just about everywhere. I can see a blank spot right there. There. Okay. Down she goes, but can you see? It's pretty. All right. Grab the green. Now, maybe you don't have word stamps. Maybe you have music note stamps, or maybe you have numbers or anything. Use what you have. My goal wasn't so much, I want words, and I'm just going to continue on with this same stamp that's on here. But my goal was small, interesting, intricate. That's what was on my mind. So maybe you just have tiny little dots. Maybe you just want to use a splatter stamp. Use what you have. Maybe you don't have some 12 by 12 one-sided. I buy these when they're on sale, like deep discount sales, like more than 50 sheets for under $10. And often your more bargainy are one-sided anyway. But for what I'm doing right now, I don't even care what's on the back, but I usually go for the back to be something that I could write on. Because oftentimes it's for an ATC or a tag or something. But if I can't write on it, and you can't expect the whole pad to just be tailor-made for what you want. Of course not. But what you can do then is just add a piece of your coffee dyed paper, or I got my composition books that I took pages out of to make it a little bit thinner. And in doing that, I saved those leftover sheets that are just ruled paper, and I just put a piece of that on the back. Okay, so well, we'll finish it up, and then it'll be like a little more than half that's going to have this writing on it. And again, and I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you, as busy as this is starting to look, it's not. It's not. Now my ink is archival, so it doesn't move if it gets wet. Now, why would someone's Christmas tags get wet? I don't know. But because I like to use so many different, hang on, I'm reaching. I like to use so many different mediums that I never know when I'm gonna put something wet over something I stamped, even if it's just like, watercolor paint. Yep. Well, the snow has started to set up on the lake that's outside my window here, but there's still a pretty big part of it because it froze like just a crust, but it's enough that the snow can be on top. But there's still some open area that didn't freeze, and the ducks and the geese are just having a heyday. It's real pretty. It's holiday looking. It really is. I can remember, let me know in the comments if you do, but there was a time that decorated geese with holly and stuff was kind of a Christmassy thing. Not now. Maybe that was during like the 80s and the 90s when geese were just kind of a thing in general. Everybody had a goose with a ribbon around its neck hanging in their kitchen or somewhere else. Kind of that, I don't know, pastel country look. All right, that looks great. Set this aside and close my ink. There, what do you think? Looks good? I think so. Okay, so we've got the red one and we've got the green one. Now, I can tell by feeling them, they're too wet to punch. So, in my next video, we will be tearing into these with some punches, and maybe I'll make some rectangles and some squares, but we will see what we've got for Christmas tags. But they look very festive and sparkly and pretty to me. So, in the meantime, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps my channel so much. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye now.